That last video is quite hilarious because even though I can't see a cursor here, in the video it quite clearly shows a cursor. So that's quite amusing. Like I said, you just have to test this for yourself because these things really do break in the editor. So you have to build a web player or a standalone build and test the show cursor and the lock cursor. Make 2 builds, test it for yourself. And using all this cube as cursor, you'll be able to see on the screen the results of these 2 commands. Okay? Alright, so let's start on something different. New scene. Let's look into switching scenes now. Okay, so we want to, I'm just going to have to give you the command here, LoadLevel. Okay, all under application. Application load level, so this is where you tell Unity to load a level by a name as a string. Or you can even use an index here. Where do we find out about that? Let's go to the Unity documentation, user manual, build settings, building scenes. That sounds good enough. No, that's not. That's building and creating scenes. Build settings. Build settings. Pipeline. Okay. No. So, what are we going to find out about build settings? Reference. Okay. Well, let's Google it. So, Unity build settings. I don't know where to show you where to find this. Publishing. Gosh. Publishing builds. No. You don't see publishing builds. There we go, publishing builds. Okay. So you have your build settings menu, and here is where you load up your scenes. Another one with more than one scene in there? No. So you load up your scene, so you can call upon a scene by a name, or you can call upon a scene by an index. Let's build a couple of scenes for that. Well, let's build a script first. Okay, a script. So it's going to be example scene 1. Let's create a game object to attach that to. Okay, give that the script. Save the scene as scene example 1. Okay. Let's just put some GUI on here so that we can call that command. Okay, so we want a GUI function on GUI if GUI dot button and rect and I'll just go 10 and 155 and say go to scene. This is scene 1, so let's go to scene 2. Okay, how do we make that happen? Application load level. Give it to me, load level. And we'll pass it as a string. At the moment, it's going to be, what do I call it? Example scene 2. I suppose we better build that example scene 2. Code braces somewhere. I'm missing a. There we go. So the whole condition was encapsulated. There's the GUI button command. There's the rect part. Okay. So let's just cheat and save that as example scene 2. script, and then we'll quickly build the scene 2. Like that. Now let's change it to go to scene 1. Sample scene 1. Let's put it on the alright. Screen.width minus, what's it, 150 minus 110, so it's minus 160. So we'll have one button on the left and one button on the right, so we can see the scenes are changing. Alright, and that's the second script. Example scene 1 with script scene 1. Now let's just do a bit of trickery. Example scene 2. And this is 2 now. So we'll make it 2. And give it the example scene 2 script. I'll save scene. Right, so we've created 2 scenes. We just put a GUI button in each scene to tell it to go to the other one. Now we have to load these up in the build settings. So we go File, Build Settings. So the scenes in the build. You can have example scene 1 with an index position of 0. Example scene 2 with an index position of 1. Okay, so even if we start on example scene 2 and hit play, there's our button saying go to scene 1. Let's hit that. And there we have it. We look up the top here, we're still running scene 2. Look, it's going to have to take my word for it. There's the game object. We are in scene 1. This is what we're running. So just ignore that. Okay, we're in example scene 1. Hit go to scene 2. And there, our buttons change. We're running different script on different game objects. Scene 1, scene 2. Okay, so that's how we can swap scenes by using a name as a string. Now let's try that index. Let's look at the build settings again. So scene 1 is at position 0. Scene 2 is at position 1. So, alright, scene 2 is going to, that's example using a level name as a string. Example using a level as an index position. We better set that up. So we're going to scene 1, which was at index position 0. Okay, I'm only going to do this on the scene 2. You'll definitely see if it's breaking, because it won't do the same thing. It should do exactly the same thing. Go to scene 1, go to scene 2, go to scene 1, there we have it. So there's the 2 examples of how to load levels, different scenes in your build, and how to put them in your build. Okay, finally, I should mention, you should normally have your scene that you want to load first at the very first position, like your main menu. Or if you've got a preload, you have your preloader in your main menu. But you always get your scene that you want to build first, loaded first, and that you start with in the first position. These should be quite easily changeable around. See, now I've changed it. Scene 2 is going to be calling position 0, which is itself. So this is going to be quite interesting. Okay, scene 1 on that script is saying go to that index position. But because I just changed it around in the build menu, it's returning to itself. Okay, so that's where the index and the order is coming in. Okay, stop and play that. There we are, we're back to normal. Okay, so that's loading levels.